My name is Mira, and I've always been drawn to the mysteries that linger in the shadows of my city. I live in the heart of Old Delhi, a place where every corner whispers stories of the past. Tales of lost treasures, ancient feuds, and secrets that refuse to fade away. Among these winding lanes stands a mysterious Haveli, its crumbling walls covered in thick vines, its windows forever shrouded in darkness. The mansion seems to watch over the street, silent and brooding, as if guarding its own secrets. Locals call it the House of Whispers. They say it's haunted by a lonely spirit, a young woman whose voice can sometimes be heard late at night, drifting through the air like a forgotten lullaby. Most people cross the street to avoid it, but I couldn't help feeling drawn to its mystery. The Haveli seemed to call out to me, daring me to uncover what lay hidden behind its locked doors. My friends Rohan and Priya always warned me to stay away. They'd tell me stories of a girl who vanished inside the mansion years ago, her disappearance never explained, her name now spoken only in hushed tones. But instead of scaring me, their stories only made me more determined. I wanted to know the truth. Was the Haveli really haunted? Or was it just another legend born from fear and imagination? Every time I passed by, I felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. I knew deep down that one day I would have to gather my courage and step inside to see for myself. The Haveli was a mystery I couldn't resist, a secret waiting to be discovered, and I was determined to be the one to uncover its story. On Holi, amidst laughter and colors, I decided to explore the Haveli. It was the perfect time. Everyone was distracted by the festival. I shared my plan with Rohan and Priya, who were worried but intrigued. Ignoring their warnings, I promised to be quick. We approached the Haveli, its silence a stark contrast to the festive noise. I found a gap in the wall, hidden by a bougainvillea bush. My heart raced as I squeezed through, leaving my friends behind. The air inside was cold and damp, a forgotten world waiting to be discovered. I was ready to face whatever lay within. Inside, the Haveli felt like a relic of another era, filled with dust and shadows. I wandered through the grand courtyard, my footsteps echoing in the silence. A faded family portrait hung crookedly, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Suddenly, I heard a faint rustle, like a silk sari brushing against the floor. My curiosity overpowered my fear, drawing me towards the sound. I climbed the dusty staircase, each creak amplifying the tension. At the end of a long corridor, a soft light glowed from a slightly open door. My hand trembled as I reached out to push it open. The room was a preserved memory, a young girl's bedroom from the past. Every detail seemed frozen in time, the faded wallpaper, the delicate lace curtains, and the old wooden furniture, all whispering stories of laughter and dreams that once filled the air. Dust motes danced in the sunlight, casting a gentle glow over the cherished toys and books neatly arranged on the shelves. It felt as if the room itself was holding its breath, waiting for something magical to happen. In the center, a ghostly figure danced, her blue sari shimmering in the light. The fabric caught every glimmer, swirling around her as she moved with a grace that seemed both ethereal and sorrowful. Her presence was like a memory come alive, a vision from another era, moving to a rhythm only she could hear. The room seemed to brighten with her every step, as if the walls themselves remembered her joy. She wasn't frightening, just a lonely soul lost in her own world. There was a gentle sadness about her, a longing that lingered in the air. She seemed to drift between the past and the present, searching for something she could not name. Her presence was more comforting than chilling, as if she was simply waiting for someone to notice her. Her eyes met mine, filled with a deep, unspoken sadness. In that moment, I felt the weight of her loneliness, the ache of memories she could never relive. Her gaze was haunting yet gentle, as if she was silently pleading for understanding, for someone to see the person she once was. I realized she missed the music and dance of her life. Her longing glances at the old musical instruments scattered around the room told me everything. The sitar, the tambourine, the faded sheet music, all reminders of a time when her world was filled with melody and movement. It was clear that music had once been her greatest joy, and now it was her deepest yearning. Remembering the sitar in the room, I decided to play. My hands trembled as I picked up the instrument, brushing off the dust that had settled over the years. I wasn't sure if I could do justice to the music she loved, but I wanted to try, for her sake, and for the memory of the happiness she once knew. My clumsy notes filled the air, and she began to dance with joy. The melody was imperfect, but it was enough. Her face lit up with a radiant smile, and her movements became lighter, more spirited. For a moment, the room was alive again, echoing with the laughter and music of days gone by. Her spirit wasn't malevolent. She was just waiting for someone to understand. She longed for companionship, for a connection that would bridge the gap between her world and mine. In her hopeful expression, I saw a glimmer of peace, as if my presence had given her the comfort she had been seeking for so long. I felt a connection, a shared moment of music and peace. In that quiet, magical space, we were no longer separated by time or fate. We were simply two souls, brought together by the power of music, sharing a fleeting but unforgettable bond that would linger in my heart forever. As I played the sitar, the room around me began to change in ways I could never have imagined. The once cold and shadowy corners of the Haveli softened, bathed in a gentle golden glow. It felt as if the music itself was weaving warmth and light into every inch of the space, chasing away the lingering darkness that had haunted these walls for so long. The ghostly girl, Anjali, who had once appeared so sorrowful and lost, now danced with newfound joy. Her movements were light and free, her laughter echoing softly like wind chimes in the breeze. The sadness that had weighed her down seemed to lift, replaced by a radiant smile that lit up her entire face. Her spirit, once bound by grief and regret, was no longer trapped in sorrow. She was finally free, her presence now gentle and serene, as if she had found the peace she had long been searching for. As my melody drew to a close, Anjali drifted closer, her form shimmering with gratitude. She thanked me, her voice a soft whisper that seemed to carry the weight of years of longing and hope. It was a moment of connection, a promise fulfilled between two souls. With a final peaceful smile, her form dissolved into a cascade of sparkling lights, swirling gently before fading into the air. In her place, she left behind a profound sense of peace and comfort, as if the very air had been cleansed of sorrow. The Haveli, once burdened by restless spirits and painful memories, was no longer haunted. It stood quiet and serene, finally at rest, its story of loss and redemption complete. I gently set the sitar aside and made my way back to my friends, my heart full of wonder and gratitude. Though the experience was extraordinary, I knew I would carry its lessons with me always, cherishing the memory of the night I helped a soul find peace. That night, I realized that not all ghost stories are meant to frighten us. Some are meant to be understood with compassion, to remind us of the power of empathy and the importance of keeping our promises, even to those who have long been forgotten. Sometimes, all it takes is listening with an open heart to unlock the hidden tales of the past, and in doing so, we may find peace, not just for others, but for ourselves as well.